Hello, good morning, friends. In the previous classes of the ecology, we are discussed on the ecological aspects. That's usually the ecological succession, or maybe the edaphic factors, or food chain, food web. So, like the different concept we are studied in the previous classes. That continue with the another one important concept of the ecology, that's ecological pyramids. So first, going to the definition, what is a ecological pyramid? An ecological pyramid is the diagrammatic that shows the relationship amount of a energy or a matter contained with the each trophic level in a food web or a food chain. It is nothing but simply graphical representation of the energy biomass in the ecosystem. So simply it is a graphical representation. So there are different kinds of the ecological pyramids are there. That's a pyramid of energy, pyramid of biomass, pyramid of number. So like that there are different types of ecological pyramids there. The energy pyramid here, the only 10% of the energy available within a one trophic level is transferred from the other next trophic level. So like that the pyramid of biomass, here the how much of biomass it's utilizing, and the next one is a pyramid of number. So here the how much of number of the organs occupied in a particular tropical level, that will be explained with the pyramid of numbers. The first one, pyramid of energy. Here the in this type of graphical representation, so usually the ecological pyramid, the amount of energy input to the each tropical level in a given area of a ecosystem over an extension period. So pyramid of energy is always upright, it will never inverted one. So just if you take this diagram itself is showing, so usually commonly the pyramid is a triangular shaped structure. There are two types of the generally pyramid representation will be there. One is a upright pyramid, what you are looking in the picture, that's a upright pyramid, and another one is a inverted, that's a reverse of this pyramid, that's a inverted pyramid. So if you take an energy pyramid in an ecosystem, so usually the pyramid of energy, so energy is represented in kilocalories or the joules. So usually if you take the energy by the producers, if you count, that's around 10,000 kilocalorie of energy will have utilized by the producers. If you go to the next tropical level, true, that will occupy the by the herbivores, there only will transfer the 1000 kilocalorie of the energy. And if you go to the next third tropical level, that occupied by the consumers, that's how the 100 kilocalorie of energy. And if you go to the next higher level or the third order of the consumer, that's the tropical level 4, only 10 kilocalorie of the energy will be transferred. So what happens if you go to the from trophic level to the trophic level 4, 5, so what happens in each level the energy will be transferred. So like that what happens, the pyramid base will be larger, and if you go to the tip it will be sharpened end. So like that you will have the upright pyramid will be there. There is no inverted, that means the energy level not decreases from top to the bottom. So from the bottom to the top the energy level will be decreases. So this is how actually the pyramid of energy will be takes place. That's a one type of ecological the pyramid, that's a pyramid of energy. The second one is pyramid of number. Here the number of the organs in each tropical level per unit area of an ecosystem will be representing. Pyramid of number is displayed in the number of individuals at each tropic level. So this picture will be showing how actually the number of organs in each tropic level. But pyramid of number is upright or inverted. If you take simply any aquatic ecosystem, there will be a plant will be there, and that's a phytoplanktons, that is followed by zooplanktons, and small fishes, larger fishes. Or if you take a grassland, so small herbaceous plant will be there, they are the producers, that will be eaten by the consumers. Grasshoppers or the mice, that's the primary consumers. The secondary consumers may be a snake, or tertiary consumers may be a hawk. So it will look like a the number will be decreases. 1,000 or 100 plant will be there, 10 mice will be there, and one snake, one hawk will be there. So like that, the pyramid of ecological pyramid is one in a grassland usually upright, or sometime maybe inverted. If you take the just like a parasitic type of food chain, here the pyramid is inverted. Only one tree will be there, that tree will support for the more number of herbivores, and inside the herbivores you will find the 100 number of parasite will be there. Inside the parasite, thousands of hyper parasite will be there. So like that, it may inverted also, or sometime maybe spindle shaped. So that is again the numbers will be changes. So like that, the pyramid of number is different shape will be there. Okay, the next one is pyramid of biomass. Here the total amount of the matter present in the organism of an ecosystem at each trophic level is called as biomass. Biomass is preferred to the use of number of the organisms, that can be varies with the size of the organisms. It is usually the total mass amount of the organisms. In each ecosystem, the biomass is also upright or inverted. If you take usually the biomass representing in kgs, so usually the producers may be 1000 kgs. Herbivores, if you count the biomass of the herbivore, it may be 100 kgs. Primary carnivores 10 kgs, or top carnivores is 1 kg. So like that, the biomass of the dry weight of the organisms, that will consider as a biomass, that will be changes. Even the some in case of some aquatic ecosystem, the producers will less weight and the carnivores will be high weight. So like that, it may also varies. In each trophic level, whatever the dry organic matter of the organisms will consider as a biomass. So this is how the graphical representation simply showing the in each type of ecosystem. This is the ecological pyramid, that's a pyramid of energy. Pyramid of energy is always upright. Second one is pyramid of number. Here the number will be more, it may be upright, inverted, or spindle shaped. And the pyramid of biomass, it will be upright or inverted. Here the biomass will be taken in a kgs or the kilograms, like that. So usually the next concept is a biomagnification. The biomagnification is nothing but the accumulation of the toxic substance in the food chain at the different trophic levels. So for example, if you take the DDT in a water bodies, so usually DDT used as a pesticide. If you spray the pesticide to your field or the crop, generally what happens during the rainy season, it will reach to the water bodies. Usually the these pesticides will consumed by the phytoplanktons or the zooplanktons in a small microgram level, and each accumulation, this is eaten by the small fishes, and next these small fishes eaten by the larger fishes. So when going to the one level to the other level, accumulation of the DDT level will be increases, because so if you take one small fish, it may be 10 mg of the DDT may consume, but the largest fishes consume 10 fishes, means the 10 mg of the DDT will be accumulated in a large fishes. So like that, the toxic level in each organs will be increases from one level to the other level. So that concept is referred as a biomagnification. So this is another concept. So going to the another one simple concept, that's a population. So population is nothing but the So usually if you take any ecosystem, there will be a number of the different organisms or the group of organisms will be there. So that generally refer as a population. So definition for the population: a group of individual of a particular species, a group of individual of a particular species occupying a definite space in which the individual interact, interbreed and exchange genetic information is referred as the population. So usually the population is simple concept. Simply we can say that the group of a individual of a particular organisms in a particular space and the time. So that is referred as a population. So usually the population may be varies with the different that may be human population or animal population. So like that it may be varies. So usually the Shepherd's law of tolerance will explain the maximum and minimum limit of the these whatever the population level will be there, that will be explaining. So mainly the each population have a characteristic. What are those characteristics? That's a population density, natality, mortality, population growth, age and distribution of the population, and population fluctuation. So these are the main 6 characteristics of a population. So first one, population density. The density of a population is represented by the average accumulation or the abundance of the population in a particular area. If you take the 100 kilometer square, how much of the peoples are living in a particular restricted areas, that called as a population density. Similarly, in case of the animals, we call it as a ecological density. So usually density is expressed reference to the area of a habitat available to the particular species. So usually this was explained with a formula, that's D equal to N by A divided by T. So that is how the population density will be calculating. The next one is a natality. The next natality is nothing but the birth rate. So here the birth rate is represented by the number of birth per unit time in a average population. That will explain the natality rate. And the mortality rate. So mortality is referred to the death rate. So usually simply mortality rate is equal to capital D by small t. So that means the number of death rate in a particular time. So that's a mortality rate. And usually if you take the next one is characteristic the population growth. The population growth is nothing but the growth of the particular species of the population in a particular time and space. So usually population size increases when with the time. If you take the simply our population growth, usually the J-shaped and S-shaped curve will be fine. The J-shaped curve means initially the population will level will be less, and if you go into the continuous, it will be increasing. So but if you take the S-shaped, if the initially the population growth will be less, so suddenly it will be started to increasing. If you reach the particular level, and it will start to stabilizing the population. That's a S-shaped curve. That's a sigmoid curve. J-shaped and the S-shaped, that's a sigmoid curve, will be represent the population growth. Next is a age distribution. So if you take in any population, different age group of the people will be there. From the, if you take the human population, generally there will be below the 10 years age, or maybe 20, 30, 40, 40 to 50, 60 to 80. So like the different age group of the people will be there. So like that in animals, in plant also the different group of the age will be there in a population. And the population dispersal, that's the immigration and the emigration. Here there will be a immigration and migration will be there in the each animal population. Emigration is nothing but it's a one-way movement of the individual out of a population, that is referred as a emigration. Immigration is the one-way movement of the individual into the population. So that's a immigration. Immigration and the migration. Migration is the two-way mass movement of a entire population, that referred as a migration. So emigration is one-way movement of the individual out of a population, that means going to the outside from a population, that's emigration. Immigration is a one-way movement of individual into the population, that's a coming inside the particular population. The migration is going and coming, so that's a two-way movement. So like that there will be a interaction. So like that, if you take any population, there will be a interaction within the population. That's neutralism, commensalism, protocooperation, mutualism, amensalism, parasitism, cannibalism, predation, competition, and inter and intraspecific competition will be there. So these are the how actually the interaction occurs among the population will be explaining. So what is a mutualism? It is a both the organs will be get benefited in a population, that's called as mutualism. So amensalism is nothing but here the interactions between the two species, one species is harmed or inhibited, other will not harmed or it is not it is associated with the other organisms. Commensalism means here the one organism will get the benefit, other one will get the loss or the harmful. So that's a commensalism. Neutralism here there is a one species appear to have a no effect on the second species, that's called as a neutralism. And parasitism, here when the two organisms will live together, which one derives the nutrient and other will be not get the, that's like a host and the parasitism relationship. So the next one is a cannibalism. Here this type of interaction is limited within a species in which the bigger individuals kill the feed on the smaller one, that's called as a cannibalism. So and the competition, that's the inter and the intraspecific competition will be there in each population. So these are the important characteristic of the population, that's the natality, mortality, population growth, population size, population dispersal, and interactions of the population. So this is how the different ecological population concept. The another one concept is that's a ecological niche. The niche is nothing but ecological niche is nothing but the accumulation of the particular organisms in a particular ecosystem. That's a position of the organisms occupied in a particular ecosystem, that called as a niche of that particular population. That's a niche. We will call it as a niche of the particular organisms. Here what happens if you take any habitat? So if you tiger occupy the top carnivores, that is their ecological niche. So like that, if you take the small whatever the grasshopper, it's occupied in a basic level, that is their position or the niche of in a ecosystem. So like that this will link between the different trophical levels of the food chain of the organisms. So sometime what happens, so some of the organisms in a ecological niche, they will be have a particular positions and also their territory. They may face the ecotone effect, edge effect. So like that there will be some interactions with the surrounding environment. But ecological niche support for the particular habit of the organisms in a particular position. So that is generally referred as a ecological niche. So this is how the you have to study the different concepts, that's the ecological pyramid, ecological niche, and population concept that you will study in the your that's a concept of the ecosystem. In that chapter will be study all these concept. So here already I explain the concept ecosystem, energy flow, food chain, ecological pyramid, ecological niche, population, community, and the biosphere concept. So all these concepts will have a totally we comes under the in a particular ecosystem or the ecology concepts. I hope you will understand all these concept in a simplified manner. So if you have doubts, so we can clarify in the next classes. So this is how actually the ecological community occurs in a particular ecosystem. So for your what is for easy study, so just look at this picture, how many food webs are there, so you have to be identify and note it out, or how many food chains are there in this diagram. Just note it out and learn the how the difference between food chain and the food habitat, and this is how the community identify all these plants. So you can go through that and you will get an idea about how the community or the population of the plant varies in a different ecological conditions. So okay, thank you for the patience listening. So I hope you will understand the concept of the ecological pyramid, population biology, ecological niche, and community of organisms.